This is a question I've been asked multiple times as of late. I have this idea that I love. Sometimes a character, sometimes a scene, a story, anything. But I'm too scared to draw it. I don't feel like I can do it justice with my current skill level. How do you push yourself to draw the things that you care so much about when you don't know how to draw them as well as the people that you look up to? So first off, you're not alone. It's normal and something every person goes through at some point. It's a real tug of war between the parts of your psyche that want you safe, from whatever that might be, and the creative parts of you that want to express themselves without constraint. Acknowledge the fear that you're going through. Talk to it. I'm serious. Talk to the fear. Get to know what it is that it's trying to keep you safe from. Even if you don't find out much about what your protector part's motives are, at the very least you can empathize and thank them for their hard work. It's often the case that these parts just want you safe. See both the fear that you feel and the part of you where that is coming from as a friend that's overprotective, not as an enemy or a problem to solve. Now, and I want you to pay close attention to this, you are only getting better. Let me repeat this so that it embeds itself into your head. Day by day, you are getting better and better at your craft. That can be drawing, that can be painting, whatever. And yes, even in the days where you're procrastinating, the days where you're too tired, maybe from work, you're too busy with other things, you're too frustrated or too distracted by whatever else is going on in your life, the truth is, you cannot regress in terms of skill. Every little improvement that you've made thus far is a permanent addition to your ability and to your skill set. And while it may not seem like it, there are multiple ways of improving your artistic ability, in this case, through passive means, for example. Appreciating other people's work, observing the world around you, letting yourself stay healthy and in good shape, getting good sleep. These things contribute far more to your overall capacity than you might realize upon first glance. So taking care of these things is a huge bonus to what you can already do. Beyond that, you're probably doing most of the things that get you better and better at this whole drawing thing. So the act of drawing itself, whether for a personal piece or for a study, for a commission, giving critiques and feedback to other artists who are looking for help, taking courses, reading books about art, doing drills, doing warm-ups, you name it. So if you feel as though your improvement has been stagnant or slow, that's okay. I've been there. Every other artist has been there, and you're doing great. Matter of fact, you're doing your best. Even when it doesn't feel like it, that's more than enough. More important than whether you're improving or not, I want for you to understand that whatever art you make right now is not a definitive final product. Matter of fact, it's not even a definitive version of your most beloved ideas, of who you are as an artist, or even as an individual. And from here on out, I want you to think of your work as a snapshot of where you were when you started that drawing. And this goes for both your skill level at the time, as well as the execution of whichever ideas you were bringing to life with that particular piece. If your body of work is just a snapshot of where you've been, this means two things. One, you can only go up from where you last were. And two, you can always come back to update your work. And I'll use one of my original characters, or OCs, as an example. Muriel, here's the character on screen. She's my most beloved character. I love this girl to death. She's a giant bunny folk teacher in a university that I call Liberty University or Liberty College, which is set in a contemporary universe of my own that I've been writing in my own time. And the first time that I drew Muriel, well, I can't show that on video if I want this to stay on YouTube, but she was just a giant bunny girl with a horn on her head, which for some reason I couldn't decide on how big that was supposed to be, so it kept changing with every drawing that I made of her. Thing is, I loved her color palette, and I was really proud of how I made her hair look. Her general aesthetic was pleasing for me. So she was, and she still is, my go-to character to draw whenever I want to doodle or to just enjoy drawing, whenever I have nothing else that I want to make, I automatically think I'm going to draw Muriel. And with every change that I've went through as a person, as an individual, Muriel's design would evolve with it. It's unfair to say that the old versions of her weren't Muriel enough. A more accurate assessment would be that the definition of Muriel changed as I did. All of the previous iterations are Muriel to the core. But what she means to me as a character, and as a creation of mine, will continue to morph and adapt as time goes on and as long as I'm alive. You know, the first time I drew her was back in 2023, and that was 2 years after I'd started drawing for the first time. If this was the only time that I could have gotten her design right, and I could never draw her again, I don't think I would have, because I wouldn't have enjoyed the design that I gave to her back in the day. But this was just a snapshot of what she meant at the time, as well as what I could realistically do with the skill level that I had back then. So if you've given yourself the space to listen to and acknowledge your fear, with kindness and compassion, then all that's left for you to do is, well, to draw. Go make the character. Go draw it. Make that character concept that you love, or that scene that you've been indulging in your mind for so long. And if you don't get it right the first time around, or the second, or the third, that's perfectly okay. This is just the latest patch, so to say, the latest version of what you can do with your current skill set and with what you have in terms of ideas for that character, for that story beat, for that concept, whatever. You're getting better and better by the day. In a few months, maybe even a year or so down the line, you're going to blow whatever concept you just made out of the water, and you're going to be absolutely flabbergasted by what it is that just a few months or just a little bit of time can do for either a particular setting or a particular idea. I want for you to appreciate where you are right now. In a way, you'll never be back here, learning everything that you're going through right now. One day, maybe sooner than you think, you'll be so good at drawing that progress becomes much, much harder to notice. Not to say it isn't happening, but it's so specific that it's going to be much harder to compare to previous versions of your work by contrast. If you can't love your work right now, you're not going to stay the course to watch yourself grow into the master that you are in the future. So you need to love your effort. You need to love your work right now, just as your masterful self would. And yeah, if you have any other questions, let me know. I'd love to make videos on that. Consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.